Welcome back to Final Trade. I want to talk about starting a business, and one of the things that I think trips a lot of people up when they start a business, and I know certainly tripped me up for many years. And, I do this Final Trade thing, and I kind of joke to my family and friends that this is kind of my pretend magic card business. I just kind of screw around with it, and mostly I think as an investing collecting business, I think it's going to lose money for several years. I make some sales on eBay once in a while, but all in all, this is kind of a money losing venture. And yeah, I can write that off on my taxes. And I'm using some of that loss of money to build inventory over time of new sealed product and reserve list cards and things. But it's going to be a long while before this is a business that regularly makes a profit. And certainly it'll be a long time, if ever, that it can support me and my family. And I kind of decided to go ahead and do that anyway. And something that held me up all through my, I guess, late 20s and early 30s is that I always wanted to start a business. And I'm an engineer by trade. I've always worked for large engineering companies. And I would think, well, maybe I could just start a small engineering business, designs things or do consulting or freelance or things like that. And that never seemed that appealing to me because there's so much risk involved. There's so much variability in work and pay and everything. And so I never did that. And then I would think, well, I'm really handy. I can repair anything. And so, maybe I could do maybe I could flip houses. Maybe I could do handyman type thing. Work less and make less money, but maybe be happier than working soulless corporate engineering. And I would always think about those ideas, but ultimately I never did anything with them. And the reason was I had this fallacy in my head that I need a big idea to start a business. And I think that trips up a lot of people. And if you want to start a business, you don't need the next Amazon level idea. There were a number of people who had the idea for what Amazon eventually did, and a couple of them tried it, and Jeff Bezos made it. But you don't have to be a Jeff Bezos to start a business. If you have something you enjoy that you're even moderately talented at, then go ahead and start a business. It costs very little money. I mean, it costs like $300 to register an LLC with the state of Texas. And, I put some money every month into the business bank account, and I invested in old reserve lists or new sealed product and then once in a while I sell some stuff on eBay. And, you don't have to have an earth-changing idea. You don't have to be the guy who thought up the pager or the smartphone or something like that. You can go on next to nothing because I'll tell you something I've realized since I started playing with my pretend business, 6 or 8 months ago. It's that you will have ideas for ways to make money as you go on running a business. And some of them you'll initially think, and you'll think, that's kind of, I don't know that the total addressable market is very high. I don't know that the profit margins would be high enough. I don't know that it'd be worth my time. And so sometimes you kind of put those ideas on the back shelf of your mind, and you just sit them there for a while. And then eventually you might have an epiphany, and you'll come back to that idea and you'll say, but what if I did that thing I thought of previously and I added this twist to it? And then you'll think, that's a product that I could actually sell. I could develop it and market it and sell it and maybe make some money. Or a particular market might materially change on you, where a previous idea you've had that you did not think would produce sufficient profit, now you think it will. And not only will your old ideas for things your business can do change over time, but you will have more and more ideas. You'll think of ways to combine ideas. You'll realize things about running a business, about finding customers, about satisfying customers, and all of those things can modify the previous ideas you've had. And so I think it's more important that you just go ahead and spend a couple $100, register an LLC. Yeah, you're going to have to file some tax paperwork, some sales tax paperwork with the state every quarter. It's really not a big deal. But, that gives you that foundation already there, so you can do things like buy products sales tax free, so that you can take a risk and you can develop things. And when something doesn't work out now, or maybe it's never going to work out, you can flow those things back through to your personal taxes as a business loss, and it's a tax write-off. And maybe you still lost money, but at least you get to write off the taxes on that money. So I I think it's important. I wish that I hadn't gotten hung up on that kind of problem for so many years where I thought I need a huge idea before I even start a company. Because now that I'm kind of, playing around with my pretend magic card business, I have ideas all the time. And a couple of them have turned into things that I've tried on eBay. I've bought things and sold things and made a little bit of money. And so, I think eventually I can build that kind of thing to where maybe the business is self-sustaining on a cash flow basis. And, the dream obviously is one day I can leave corporate engineering and just play with magic cards all day, maybe eventually I'll have an idea for a whole different type of business. It's not even related to card games. And, at least putting myself in this perspective where I'm thinking about business opportunities all the time and I'm able to explore things because, hey, I've got a state issued resale certificate. So, that gives me opportunities that I didn't have before. But at least I'm in that mode and I can kind of pursue those things. And it's much better than sitting back like I did for so many years saying, well, I still don't have the idea for, the next giant $1 trillion company, so I guess I'll just do nothing. I'll veg out playing Factorio all night. So, go ahead and register your business, do a couple things, and you can just stop running a business at any time as long as you haven't quit your real job for this side business. You can just stop running the business if it looks like it definitely isn't going to turn into anything profitable ever. And so you can take those kind of risks on a much smaller scale than you're probably imagining right now, and at least it can get you started. Because if you keep waiting for the $1 trillion idea, you're going to keep waiting forever while you work jobs you hate. So that's my advice based on my experiences and what I feel like was probably 10 years that I would have liked to have started a business, and I just didn't because I always thought I needed a bigger idea than the dumb ideas I was having. So your dumb ideas are okay, and they might evolve into good ones. So go ahead and try it. If you like this kind of thing, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join me on Final Trade. I'd love to have you. Thanks a lot.